This land of ours is under attack. Time has come, we're gonna take it back. Just wait and see. Don't tread on me. I won't sit back, stand idly by, and watch the heart of my nation die. Oh, not me. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on my Bible, don't tread on my guns, don't you tread on my faith in God's only son. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on me.
You can't trust somebody that continuously does something that, and oh, well, I gotta find out and interview the whole competition. No, I don't sit here and go, okay, I want to go interview my aunt and find out, or other Democrats and find out what their opinion is. No, they're not. Some of them are not going to switch. You know.
So there's nothing. Once somebody has reached a point and they have been confounded and sent a strong delusion, they've been sent strong delusions because they're not going to change.
Only Yahuwah would have to, we have to add that in after talking about him this whole evening. We can't go, oh, well, there's no change whatsoever. You can't do nothing. You're absolutely lost.
Yeah. But if you seek them, you'll find them. And there's a guy on YouTube saying Yahuwah was created from the source, and he just wants to enslave everybody on earth and trap all the souls here, and they have to worship him continuously. And it's not that. When you read the book of Ezra and some of the other books, basically we different things. Some people like you might want to take care of the garden. People like me, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll go work on a planet or something. I don't know. But it is just going to be like constant worship, It'll be, we'll have things that we do, but they'll be pleasurable. It won't be like regular work where you get, it's a work that probably energizes you. It makes you feel good, and not like now. I went to a coffee shop with Pat, and as soon as I sat down, they got a table over from us, these two guys, I started to cough. And I could feel it in my lungs. I feel like, man, these guys are probably super vaxxed. I get around super vaxxed people, I cough for a while. No.
Oh, I didn't even get to see this part either. Where Cash was in front of somebody.
Oh yeah, Cash and what's her name? Tulsi Gabbard. The Democrats are trying to, oh, you guys did this over like Messenger or whatever they were doing, top secret, classified information. And they go, that wasn't classified information. One of the Democrat senators going crazy, you need to resign.
Like I said, I wish I would have saw them, but I don't know. I couldn't afford it too during December, but the other part, or not December, but they came in before November, I meant. But also it was to the point of, I'm getting a little bit more tolerant, but Kennedy's voice, it was very difficult for me personally to hear that, because I would sit there and go, as a former smoker, you're like, clear your throat, come on. But I get his symptom and I get the whole thing. But to me, that's what I hear. I'm sorry. It's kind of an irritation. Everybody has their own little scratch. Like, people are starting to get irritated by, not irritated, but you remember Trump signing?
Yeah.
Annoyed by that, like the old, nails on a chalkboard stage.
Oh yeah, it's like, it's like, stop.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, we had these long old school chalkboards along the wall in the front behind the teacher. I looked at everybody and I go like, all the way down the wall. Everyone's going, stop. And then the teacher comes running over for the next class. Will you stop that? And I even wore down my nails. I just thought it was so funny. It didn't bother me. And people were like, freaking out in the classroom.
It's almost like when I see a metal stud. You know, it kind of does the same thing for me because I think a slice or cutting, you know, because you go like you could, it's okay to touch it, but if you go, you slide, you know, you slide your hand down in any way, on the middle of it because they're the way that they're curved because they come flat. Not for us, but when we did the condo, like I talked about earlier, you can slice yourself very easily on it. It's like, you know, there's certain
Yeah.
things to think about like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's
But
there's a
before,
lot of stuff like that.
yeah, before we got on that,
Anyways,
that's why I missed it or didn't see it. And then secondly, like I said, couldn't afford it. It was like, you know, like we just talked about food and belly or gas and tank. Since I didn't have to go anywhere, it was food and belly. But it was a missed opportunity. It was like, man, that was our Nebraska's and East Iowa opportunity to see Trump. Is why, because you know he didn't come here this year. I don't know why he didn't do the full tour. Probably because it was a guarantee, and also he was working on the plan. Is my guess of behind the scenes, getting in a skiff room, getting with the military, getting everything lined out. Because everybody said, even Juan said he got calls from people in the military that said they got orders as Trump was being inaugurated. So that means it had to or to be pre-planned
yeah,
and pre-run out.
that's right. So if Biden was actually the real president, he would have put troops in Ukraine. He would have started using tactical nukes on the Russians. But none of that happened. That's because Biden really wasn't Biden. And the fact is that if they didn't have the nuclear football anyways. They had a fake one with a lady wearing a World War II uniform. I mean, that's pretty sad. The insignias are all weird on it and stuff. It was just not, it looked like something from you know, Gregory prep movie back in 40s and 50s.
But yeah, also we did have some, not a full force like you're talking about, but we did have some troops in Ukraine, just in case someone tries to come in and fact check us and stuff. We did have
Yeah, there were, but they were more at an assistant level.
they weren't a part of the full action. Yeah, you're right, Steve. They
No.
were just to hold the fort on something.
Well, and then Russia, when people got captured, if they were mercenaries, they're in jail now.
By the way,
They weren't actual soldiers, they're mercenaries.
I got a bone to pick with that too. What I've heard of the Ukraine forces is they've been hiding underneath daycares and or kindergartens. And then the other thing with that is, besides hiding under the kindergartens, they also they've been hiding with civilians too. But what there was something else that they did too, besides being Nazis. And false volunteering. There's a whole bunch of it. No, I'm not for Putin or anything like that, but when they're starting to do stuff like that, it's just some things just don't seem right. And also, someone talked about the 32 labs recently. I think Trump talked about it, or I mean, someone legitimate I heard talk about within the last 2 days. Once again, still out of it, figuring out some health issues. But anyways, yeah, someone talked about that and confirmed it.
Yeah.
Which was interesting to actually finally get, confirmation on instead of just us with scuttlebutt.
Yeah. Where we hear it? No, I actually heard it mentioned at a congressional hearing that it was financed by not by gain of function. And Fauci knew about it, and the senators knew about it. The biolabs that they were financing over in Ukraine, right on the border or close to it. Because remember when Russia went in, they captured certain areas, they captured some of those labs and they went in there and they got the stuff.
Oh, I remember that.
Totally stripped out, remember?
Yep, you're right. I remember that. And then I remember the rest of the stuff, what you talked about too, of they said that the Ukraine labs, the 32 or 37 of them was it's not in the United States, so we do not go against the Geneva Convention. of the geo warfare and stuff like that. So it wouldn't go underneath us, and it kind of wouldn't go underneath Ukraine because it would be, they try to play political games kind of thing. You know what I mean? Almost like,
Yeah.
for example, Steve, when it's your Coke and you put it in your friend's car kind of thing, not my Coke. The friend's
Yeah.
like, what the hell are you talking about? And the guy's all sober and you got a Coke head, exactly a Coke head. Oh, it's not my Coke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's really all the stuff they pulled, but I think we're going to be, when Doge gets going and things start really happening, we're going to see that 75% of our money, this country's money, has been laundered, robbed, or stolen, Ponzi schemes, stuff like that.
Oh man,
We're gonna be blown away.
wait until our roads get fixed. But that's also a downside, is people are going to start thinking racetrack. Hey, I'm going to go 90 miles an hour in my 800 horsepower car.
Yeah, 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 but I'm not worried about that. I don't think you're still gonna find those guys in places, though. No matter what, you'll find them.
I just see it in my neighborhood a lot. Burnouts
So,
right in front of my house.
yeah,
That's all
I mean, it happens because a lot of these guys are buying, high power horsepower cars. They're immature and they don't know how to drive, first of all. And they think they're the fast and the furious. Doesn't work like that. That movie basically it conflicted a lot of physics.
Or video games are completely different than real life. You might have a simulator with all the controls, but there's so many variations that you do not have on that simulator. Road conditions. Man, since this last snowstorm, which I don't know if any of them removed snow, there is a lot of new minefields, potholes.
Well, yeah, out here the roads are breaking up pretty good in Elizabeth County, Elbert County area, because they're just, I don't know what it is or where their finances or what they've done. But with all the tax increases, all the homes and businesses that moved out here, they're not doing a good job on controlling the income. So a lot of these people need to be removed because and everything, we need to bring Doge into a lot of these blue states. And I guarantee you're going to find the state of Colorado has been laundering, squandering money like you wouldn't believe, because the marijuana money could only be in cash. How do you account for that?
That's not the only state. I mean, other states are doing cash, but other states can also do card.
Yeah. I mean, they can't put it in the bank. So initially they actually had to take a cash to a location.
Yeah, they couldn't keep it in the safe because you remember at first, because my grandma is in Colorado, and I kept visiting her. There were so many of them breaking them in because they're like, okay, marijuana dispensary. They know they have marijuana, and they know they have money. The two things the guys want.
Yeah, because they're not credit card swiping back especially in early days. So you don't tell me that the officials and the owners of those companies didn't do a little money laundering between each other. You know what happened? Because how come Colorado still needs money for schools? Where does it all go?
Also, they're talking about selection because remember, I gotta start getting my head on my butt here in the next like 4 or 6 days and find out who to vote for here in Omaha, because I have April 1st to vote for the primaries getting ready, and it's like, oh boy, I don't know. And then the reason why I say that is every one of them has been not everyone, but a lot of them have been selected. And even here in Nebraska, like I said, I felt bad for voting for Bacon and all these others. I mean, yeah, he might be a little bit turned, but no, he's a turncoat. We know exactly what his he's a snake, like we saw before. He has not proven anything recently and it turned over a new leaf or enough to prove to me and all of our community here that he's turned. It needs to be out. And like I said, I honestly thought Herbster, which was a good friend of Trump's, not that reason, but Herbster seemed like he was more of a person that cared about Nebraska instead of lining his own pockets. And should have been our governor. And they brought out a sex scandal, and it ruined him and his credibility. The same thing they did with Trump.
Well, they did that with Ben Carson. He was doing really well. But they tried that with Trump. It failed. And after a while, they tried it with Matt Gaetz and it failed. Then they tried it with somebody else and it failed because once you stand up to them, just like that lady that claims Trump raped her in a department store dressing room. Are you kidding me?
And remember that, Steve? Also, rape is sexy. Oh, we gotta go commercial break, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't believe me, it was Anderson Cooper. Go watch it. And you could type it in and you'll see it. But you're right, Steve, and that's their playbook. They do the same thing repeatedly, expect a different.
And the dress she claims she wore hadn't been made. It was 5 years out from that point when that particular dress was produced. These people are liars. And she is a crazy woman anyway. She did her interview at her house. She calls one of her cats Vagina. Yeah, her cat's name's Vagina.
Well, remember the father of lies is their why you said the lie part, but no, I mean not to switch from the vagina part, but no, I mean also that reminds me of the parasite thing of that is true. They're saying if you have cats, that you get a parasite, and you can also become a crazy cat lady from that, from their urine or something like that. And you got the claw, they come on you, and then they're clawing everywhere, and then they're eating. Or some of them share food, and
oh yeah, cats have a dirty mouth. The cat bites you, you better go down and get a tetanus shot or whatever they give you. Because the cat bit me once. I went down to the doctor. It was lucky you came down here. So my hand was starting to hurt. But they infect you and it goes up your bone, into the bone. He says once it's into the bone, you cannot get that stuff out. He said,
oh,
quit.
you froze. He said that's all you said, and now you're in the red. No, I could take a picture of you being in the red, but
well, next time let me try to hardwire it in. But if I could try actually using my laptop a little bit just to see.
oh, now
it could be a because I'm not showing any problems with this in like I did before.
Do you know what when Nino had his backstage thing with Juan, and you know what he said? He goes, it could be my cell phone, it could be the computer, could be the internet, could be the cell phone provider, it could be aliens. He kept going down the line.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny that it could be aliens. But yeah, I mean, you don't know who's stopping you, because sometimes it's when you start preaching about some
Are you there
stuff.
still?
Yeah. Really? Like I said, this really, oh, hey, Trump, really cheap. Like, look, when you look at yourself, when you put your hair, not now, but when you go put it down a little bit more. No, you had your hair down like that. Yeah, see, you turned into Trump there for a second, like that.
Yeah. Trump haircut.
Everybody's doing it now. It's cool. Then
I'll let it get real long in the front and go.
he's got that. He's got I saw it today when he was leaning over with a white. It was kind of funny. But
yeah,
no, you're right. This whole situation is just it's not just there. It's automotive. It's all over. We need to start getting quality control back, and being able to trust products again, because that's how we used to be able to trust name brands. But then,
when you
remember Hobo Freight, Steve? Just recently, over the last 2 or 3 years, Hobo Freight overtaken because they actually started having higher quality than the Snap-ons and the others. Then,
they're tools, but they got Snap-on prices. They're getting expensive, but they're made very, very well. Yeah.
That's the thing. And then it's not just tools, but I mean, I'm just saying that because a lot of people that do work, whether it's construction or not mechanical, use tools. And that is a lot a part of, making money, and also materials fall apart. Steve, you deal with paint.
Oh yeah.
If you dealt with wood and
It's
screws, same thing.
it's mostly the body fillers that I'm having trouble with. They just keep shrinking. I'll do a quarter panel. I'll do a three long block like this long, cut it perfectly. I'll primer it again, guide coat it, let it sit a few days, come back, and some of it's running that all of the time.
Wow.
So, and then some of the primers too. I hate the high dollar primers because they're almost too thick. And then some of now I went back to the 1950 sealer though,
That
that
worked.
it lays down like silk, and it worked back then. It's still going to keep on working today. The new sealers have activators in them, so you can get a little orange peel or texture in them. Then when you lay metallics over it, they don't have that super refined look. So there you are, you lay it down, let it set a day, come back, cut the metallics, cut that upper coat and lay another coat over it. That's what I have to do with the classic cars to get that beautiful finish underneath the clear. But with this other sealer, you don't need to do that because it lays actually out like silk, like the old DuPont Velvaseal did.
That's exactly what they don't understand is when they want a paint job from you, they do, oh, well, I want to get a Mako paint job. Well, then go to Mako.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
like,
you can't, as a shop, you can't do a nasty job on a car. It'll cost you, even though the customer says nasty. I don't care, just paint over it. So I learned early on, you don't do that. You have to say, this is my standard and this is what it has to be. I can't do those. Now, I did have a buddy, he was a friend, had a rusty Honda. He says, come on, man, I'll help you. We'll just spray over the rust. I don't care. I go, dude, you're my friend, so I'm going to help you out here. You tell anybody I painted this, I will hunt you down like a dog.
it's
It looks so horrible. Oh my gosh.
I remember doing that on some vehicles.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's what Mako does. Except I at least didn't get paint on the rubber.
And the hubcap. If it's
And,
not on the hubcap,
and the tires and the exhaust.
sir wants a good paint job, go somewhere else.
Oh yeah, I get into the car because they spray the rocker. All the paint just goes up under the car, blows all the grease out the other side, hands on the car on the other side, and they go paint over the grease particles.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're I mean, this whole situation has been getting the whole Trump train. A lot of people have either got on board or they're watching the train leave the station because we're getting ready to get into tariffs here coming up. And Steve, he said billions and trillions are coming into our country. So when that starts happening, that means what happens when our deficit starts going the other direction? Are we going to have instead of a debt calendar, are we going to start having a regular calendar going up and up?
Calendar. We start doing that, and Doge goes into Social Security and fixes it. He's gonna get a fat raise. Seriously, because the Democrats have, and the rhinos, oh, we're not privatizing Social Security. There's lots of private retirement systems out there that do very, very well for everybody. Very well. And if we had been put into a privatized system, we would all be worth, realistically $2.53 million. Okay. And then when you draw the interest off that, that's pretty good. But the Democrats and the rhinos didn't want it because then they couldn't rake the piggy bank. It would have been cut off. And they use it to pay off illegals too, because illegal people need Social Security also.
That
But behind the scenes though, they are verifying people's ages. One of my friends, his dad's like 90. He actually had to go on a video conference and show the ID card that it was him.
it's good.
So-
I mean, it's nice because we've had too much fraud, man.
Yeah. And I told them, I said they're getting ready because they know Doge is coming. They're trying to fix all this. One guy, I guess CBS or MSNBC, oh, they shut down my Social Security. Well, probably like his dad, he got a notice that if you don't do the conference or you can't come in person, that we're going to shut down your Social Security.
Yeah, probably got a mail or something in the mail because they say that people try to call and they try to get fraud in. Like it happened to my grandma. Remember when I was up there? She got a phone call supposedly from the CIA or FBI, and she gave them her whole bank account number and
Oh,
everything.
yeah, yeah, they do that. This is the Social Security office. If you do not contact us, we will send a federal marshal your way. And then they called me up personally. You haven't contacted, we're going to send a federal marshal out. Oh, I got my pistol grip pump shotgun right here. Except I don't have buckshot. I have solid lead rounds.
Speaking about that, did you hear about the during that conference today with Trump? He mentioned about Signal when they were talking about Signal and that we'll see if that could be hacked. I have the security working on that. What I'd like to do is I'd like to be in a lead box, in a lead room, lead floor, lead walls. It's like, what is he talking about? That's why illegal lead paint. So when I own a house, when I own a house, lead,
Can you still buy lead paint?
yeah.
You
It's
can,
expensive, but yes.
because that does make sense.
Yeah.
Because on your house, though, you have to, because they used to use lead in glass too.
That's
They
why, we have to upgrade it. They always have to, it's the same thing with the cell phone, Steve. I had an actual someone from Verizon going, no, they didn't do that. Every upgrade's a downgrade. And I had a Motorola, or not Motorola, but a Samsung, or not Samsung, but anyways, whatever it was. And every time I upgrade it, the camera will get better this time. No, it got blurrier. Like what you get. How you get on your camera, it gets blurrier and blurrier. And then now the phone won't even turn on because of battery issue. But anyways, the updates. And then, you have to update the software. I've never updated the software on this phone since I've owned for almost 10 years now. And there's nothing wrong with it. Not as
it's called obsolescence.
Yep.
They purposely overload your phone with apps and other things running to slow it down to where it's like, oh, this thing's a piece of crap. No, it's overloaded with apps is what it is.
Oh, you remember, Steve, I don't know if you ever got into this. My sister got into it with Verizon and other big guys, is every year you could return your phone in and we'll get you a new one, an upgrade.
Yeah.
And I go to my sister, I go, what is all that information going on? Oh, I don't have anything on there. Like she's thinking nudie pics and stuff. I was like, it's not just nudie pics. It's just, it has all your personal information on it. Why would you give it up?
Yeah.
Pictures, you could delete it, but the way that these cell phones, and also just so you know, if you go print anything out or go scan anything anywhere in public or any printer, it's on the printer hard drive.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Everything's so if you're at a friend's house and you're doing, let me go do my Social Security card, and or not friend's house or anybody random place, you want to make sure you trust that person before you scan that kind of information.
Right.
Because they can go back and then, I don't know if they can reprint it very easily, but they can probably go discover it with the right amount of, or right software.
Yeah, they could. They could.
How would the
Especially when you have your using Bluetooth on your printer. Could be scanned. I use hard wire to my printer.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't have Bluetooth. My sister does, and so does my
Yeah,
dad. But
but
yeah, you're right.
it has Bluetooth capability, but I just hardwire it directly. I don't want to. I've got a lot of my stuff, even the keyboard is a cheap keyboard, is hardwired directly to the computer. The speakers are hardwired directly to the computer. The camera is hardwired directly. The only thing that is Bluetooth is this.
Oh, no, don't worry.
Oh no, it's spying on me.
Yeah,
Rat bastards.
and that shouldn't affect much. I mean, it's not like you're doing anything. Well, actually, Steve, just to be honest with you, that might start affecting some of the clicking on trading because there is a delay within that.
Yeah, I have my mouse on the trade. I did a trade today and it actually moved pretty quick.
Oh, did it? Okay, you got to.
Yeah, it didn't have a problem. I didn't really hardly trade today, just very, very little. I just kind of watched the guys. We'll probably have about 2 or 3 more weeks before we start really coming back around. But a lot of the market is climbing back up.
Yeah.
Even Trump stocks coming back up too.
That's what was worrying me is I gotta get, if I want to get one more, get it in now because I saw the numbers when it first started. I'm not getting greedy. I was like, damn, how'd it go up to 4? But 100 right now would be even decent. When he first, like somewhere in the election, it was like in December or something like that of last year. Steve, it was up to 100.
Is somewhere last year before the election when it first went private. I think it hit like 100 or so.
That's where I think I saw it. Yeah.
Can't remember, but then it hovered about 50 and $40 for a long time. Then it dropped to 11. Then it came back up to 35, 38. Now it's back down. It went to maybe 18, and now it's back up to 23. Well, I don't know what it closed out today. I can tell you real quick here.
Yeah, while you're at it, put your clothes back on. So
Yeah.
it stops blurring you.
Oh,
Hey, I wonder if you blur your background, will it clear it?
I don't know, man.
You know what I'm talking about? How that has that setting where you can blur the background that you
It
were
has
having.
that setting. I can't move quick because it ends up ruining it.
Yeah.
It does that. Obviously, it's not this thing. My mini digital rabbit ears.
Oh no, that has a different issue. That is just disconnecting you from streaming. Is what that's doing because you froze up even with what you're doing now. Oh, you moved.
Oh,
But it's hard to tell if you're freezing up because yeah, you put on the wrong pair of glasses on the there we go. You need a tinfoil on that, Steve. That's what you need. Put some bunny ears on it.
put some tinfoil on it. Oh, let's see. Trump. Oh, it's up 8.58% today. That's a pretty good day in gain.
Yeah.
Right now it's currently running at 22.77 is when the market today at exactly let me see. Oh, this traded into the night. It went into over after 1600. It actually traded until actually almost 8 o'clock. But it made some pretty good gains. It did drop down today to 22, but it's up 22.77, which is good. And it actually went as low as 2072, and that was March 24th. And let's see. Oh wow, it really went down here. Holy smokes. Now this back in March 21st, it was at 1977. I almost bought into it then too. I had a feeling it was going to do this. Yeah, this we got was 1977.
Oh, I lost another friend. Oh, darn. I went from 203 or 204 friends to 201. Besides that, reason why I say that, Steve, is someone told me that they have a note somewhere to avoid Trump stock because he keeps losing his ass on it.
I do. Yeah, yeah. Every time I touch it, it falls apart. So I just stay away from it right now.
Well,
Does it-
actually, at some point, it's got to level off because with these deep staters, how much can they buy or sell or
Well, the
whatever they
thing
have,
is,
they sell off.
it's too choppy. In other words, when you look at it, it's going like there's no smooth curves like this. It's like this. So you can't really, it's too difficult to trade.
Yeah.
But it's, it did leave. It got as high as 24 today, 23.81.
I think that's going to get fixed, man. That's the same thing as the other stuff that's going to get fixed. I'd like to go see these conferences. That's why I tried to look at Right Side Broadcasting. That used to be my pillar of, all right, Trump's talking. Let me go look at things. Not during his era in office, because when he was in office, I was distracted with another podcaster, like I said, and listening to him.
Yeah.
But besides the point of you could go back and listen to it. Now I don't know if I have to go to the White House channel to go listen to these things, because that conference I just told you about with Tulsi Gabbard and Cash Patel, I like to go back and watch that
Yeah.
and get my get information from it, because what's the FBI doing? Because the FBI did something here locally in Omaha too. They just arrested some sex trafficker.
Really?
Yes. Let me see if I can whip it up on my computer, then I'll share it on the screen. Uh, I thought it was quite interesting that they're doing things, because I was going to go protest them when they were going through not Biden, what's it, Barron's stuff and Melania's dress collection and stuff like that, and panty drawer is when I was
Yeah.
gonna go over there and protest. But this is what they did here. 15 life sentences handed down.
For where?
Ames, Iowa. A judge handed down to Carl Murphy for sex trafficking. Was a nurse practitioner. I can't say that word. Practitioner. Using fraud to victimize dozens of young victims. This is what they said.
To do little kids underage, you got to have it's you can't steal their lives like that. I'm sorry. You're stealing their lives.
You're right.
You're gonna you can't do it. You're bringing harm onto them. You got to leave their children.
Never be the same.
Nope, they will never ever be the same.
And I was surprised it came across, because I haven't thought about the FBI like that in a while. I mean, I even forgot about the Dan Bongino thing for a while, because it was a week ago. Not, we're getting memory hold of, I'm getting overloaded, because, a lot of them have been saying that. Everybody's been saying nothing's been happening, is going to say that, been overloaded. We're waiting for the winning, and then we're going to keep saying there's more winning, because Trump.
Well, we are winning.
Yeah. Oh no, we are. I was talking
Yeah.
about. Well, no, like me and you, Steve, can feel the winning. I mean, okay, not spiritually. I'm talking about financially in our pockets, to where we start getting more open and unburdened from these chains that we're in. We're almost like in jail cells. You're in a jail cell in Colorado where you're only allowed to go to a city to city. Yes, you can take out some money and go somewhere else, Steve, but you take it's a high risk for you. And then also you take another risk of money, of where you're not income. You're very tight right now, where you're not able to get that money going.
Yeah, you quit. I can't hear you.
Huh?
Okay, what'd you just say?
I was going to say, you're getting tight into paying your bills.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is where you can go get money and take money out and go do things, Steve, and afford to go. But it also, on the other hand, you can't, because you're just like the rest of us. You're close on money. You can't take time off of work and not be able to not pay your bills and go do stuff like that. So we are in a prison. you know,
Right.
like that. And you know, you're stuck in your city, I'm stuck in mine, more or less. You know, we can go outside of it, but
Yeah, that keeps us locked down when we can't travel because when you're financially have to be very careful. You can't travel. You
that's why,
can't go and, do things.
that's why I said we can't feel it yet. But we're gonna be there. I mean, you know, we were promised, and him with promises made, promises kept. It's not like I don't sniff children anymore, and Biden's over there sniffing children and groping them right on national TV.
Oh, like people don't see him doing it? That's the sign of a very sick man. Oh, they don't notice what I'm doing. Even at that soccer player, that lady, he was putting that medal on her. He was going. It's you can see the look on her face like
Or the man playing Hunter, you know, it's kind of sound like that's OJ and the man we believe to be Al Cowley.
yeah. Oh my
That's what
gosh.
it's starting to sound like nowadays because you have to start saying that kind of thing, Steve.
Oh yeah, you can see one of the senators. I can't remember his name. In fact, he was the original DOJ when Trump first got in. Who was that betrayed him?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, are
I
you
remember his face, but he was by Biden. He had his granddaughter with him, and Biden started to reach for his granddaughter. He goes, put her over to the right side of him because Biden was starting to go, oh.
and they can't stop him because they praised him as all sorts of. Remember, every people
Oh,
were.
I know, man.
Now, what happened to him? You and I are probably the only ones talking about it. I mean, no one's even mentioning Biden economy anymore. Trump just mentioned today that I inherited this economy. Is all he said. He didn't mention Biden or anything else like that, man. I don't know.
Is he joining the list of no name?
I think so. It's kind of funny, but it's not.
Oh my gosh. If I could have been the VA, I would have pulled out a big old black marker, drew a big old mustache on him.
I bet you someone probably already did that to Trump of you know, the Hitler mustache. You know, there's veterans there that are you know, blue haired and all that other crazy. Or okay, let's not even say veterans. How about some of the nurses? I know some of the nurses are a little bit you know,
Yeah, I think they can
misguided.
be. Yeah.
Misguided is all I'm gonna say. You go, they're American still. It's just the when you honestly still believe the lie so badly, that's almost like being in a relationship and your
Yeah.
husband or wife is leaving at night, like right now, or you know, 12:30, let's say, yeah, at my time of you're leaving and going out. Well, where are you going, honey? And you don't work, you know, you work during the normal hours. Where are you going? Oh, don't worry about it. You know, it's kind of like, yeah.
There's nothing to see here. I'm gonna go stoinking, so you just go to bed. Don't worry about me anymore tonight.
Me and the ladies or me and the dudes are going out. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah. Going stoinking.
Unless you're a hunter, but yeah, you don't hunt at night unless you, yeah. There's a whole bunch of different things. You're right, Steve. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah. I know, man. It's just funny. It's
it
not
is.
funny. It's a sad thing. So, anyways, though, man, I think I'm reaching that in.
And you know, I was thinking
That's
about it.
a lot,
You
huh?
never know how this will pan out. You might go, you know, like what we're talking about is you walking around or traveling somewhere. You might go stumble upon a cave and there might be something in there, or you know, something like that. You never know.
I keep having this vision of me running across something somewhere. I
Yeah.
really do. But I have to know, but I have to work all the way into Paleo Hebrew.
And it's not like that's just the goal. There's just something there that I mean, you've been telling me for years about that. There's something that's been leading you to that. Not well, actually, I think you have been talking about reading the Hebrew when we were in your kitchen and you've been cooking and stuff. And you know, I was you know, in between going upstairs and downstairs and letting them.
Yeah, I don't think at that time I had gotten, I think it was a little bit after that. I went to this guy James's funeral and I heard the Pastor Marty reading and speaking in Hebrew, and then he would translate it in English. But when I heard the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, it triggered something in my heart, and it would never go away. Still has not gone away to this day. But it's actually, because it actually should be the term Yahudim. The name Jewish isn't even a biblical, it is an actual biblical word, because there's no J and there's no W actually. Yahweh, that's what there's no W sound. And then people are going to hear that and they're going to flip out on me, but that's just the way it is. I can't change what's there.
Well, a lot of it, and also we're still trying to figure. I mean, you're still trying to figure out. You can't say we, because your research field's going a different way than mine is. You're learning Hebrew and going to teach others, not me, but you said you wanted to try to teach others when you do it, learn it.
Yeah, I want to teach. I want to be able to explain the scriptures completely the way they are, not by the way that Constantine and the canonization process, because people don't realize even before Constantine, when they canonized the Bible, what is that? Consuls, I can't say it right now. About in the year 400 or so, 380 to 450 AD. Well, the scripture has already been canonized before then. Then they took it all apart.
Yeah. And they,
the Tanakh was already all together with all the Apocryphas, and all the other hidden books were in the Tanakh. And the New Testament, the Messianic Yahudim, Jewish people, they put the New Testament together, and it already was together. That's why there's books like the Book of Thomas, and there's books missing. There's even a book of Mary Magdalene.
There was also a chapter that you and I just proven over the last 20 years that it was about fasting of not just fasting, but fasting to kill parasites. And it specifically said to pray and fast is the way to help, or best way with a biblical way, because everybody had access to stuff we didn't.
To remove certain demons, because they require that. That's in I think Matthew 16:22. And in some of the newer versions don't have that. When the apostles asked Yeshua, why can't we get rid of this? This is the type you got to pray and fast in order to get rid of them.
This type of what? You blanked out when you said this type
of demons.
Okay.
So evidently this is getting worse at this computer. I'm probably gonna have to take this computer back too.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think it's going to suit what I'm doing, honestly. Because I heard the NordVPN, they said, was causing problems to people's computers. It's probably starting because they start having the they've got all this stuff on the NordVPN now. And because you've got malicious files, malicious websites, ad trackers, it stops all those. It stops, it's basically, this is like NordVPN has become like an antivirus.
Yeah, which some of them are good and some are bad.
Some of them eat up too much crap. You can't run with them.
And they counteract, and then the new Windows Defender's gotten really, really bad, where it affects with other stuff like what you just talked about. It'll mess with programs like that, or antiviruses, or anti-malware. And because I was to the point where I started downloading all that stuff, and because I was also doing torrents and all that, and I was worried about it. But man, there's a point to where you're like, all right, if they're going to get in there, there's people smart enough that it doesn't matter what the hell kind of Windows you have.
Yeah, what happens is you got all the malware coming in, because already, since we've been on, it's already blocked 243 ad and trackers. So that's quite a bit.
Which is weird, because I don't know how you're on the internet. Because, unless you have your browser open.
No, I didn't open it. It's open, but because I got it on that's where I get my Zoom through.
Yeah, I usually close mine. Well, not shortly after, because I recently realized that what like Jan Bongino said, we have to bring receipts, which I don't know why that's new. I prefer evidence of we if we talk about something, you can talk about and say, hey, this person said this. Show them like this evening where Trump said he wants to see the interest rates go down. I mean, I know he said a little bit, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't mean like a percentage. He doesn't want to see loan shark happening anymore to people.
You back?
Yeah, like I
Okay,
said,
I actually clicked the Wi-Fi off. Sorry.
Trump's percentage of
Yeah.
no, I mean, like I said, the interest rates. He wants to drop the interest rate. It's not going to be 1%, like I said. It's going to be a certain percentage because we have loan shark rates going on right now with
So
everybody,
they need to come down at least to where they were at when he left office.
and are manageable, so we can stop.
Because at that rate, then you can start paying things off
But I
without
think
killing yourself.
you know what I'm thinking also, Steve, is he's not doing it too low, is because he doesn't want to do what he did to the oil. Remember how he got oil so low? He was trying to not hurt, but trying to show the other parts of the world that, and he was really hurting Louisiana, Texas, by having us pay for $70, not us, but the oil people pay
Yeah,
70.
when it got down below like $54 a barrel, they were starting to have issues.
Yeah,
It's reasonable at $54 a barrel. Our regular gas would be about $1.68 a gallon,
yeah, which is
which
not.
that's more feasible than. But from Parker to from Parker to Aurora in Southlands, Sam's Club, there's literally a almost 43 cents difference on a gallon of gas.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, but actually, I've been on like Murphy's gas or Maverick. The truck does not like it. It eats it like crazy. So alcohol and laden. But the stuff at Walmart, hit and miss with the Walmart gas. Sometimes it does really good, but it never does as bad as Murphy's or Maverick does on fuel. They must be getting hellaciously loaded down with alcohol.
And it's sad because you have a refinery right there in town.
Oh, I know. They tried to shut that down too, but that didn't work. It's still running.
A lot of this, like I said, Steve, is gonna get the selected are gonna get taken down. And
Yeah.
also we also have to remember this, and I know I'm gonna quote it one more time, but Juan said, without Yahuwah, there is no victory at all.
No, remember when the thought that I got, and it's come into fruition that he had to take over. We had no idea how wicked the government become, how much they've been stealing from the people, enslaving us. We didn't really see it. But now I look at the central bank, high interest rates, that's an enslavement. Yahuwah says, let my people go. And they better turn down the interest rates because something will happen from the spiritual realm with them.
I feel the same thing happening this evening, Steve, with the if they want to try to do this CERN stuff or HARP, I forgot which one it was that caused the Aurora Borealis to come down much further than it's naturally supposed to come. And
Well,
they've been trying to at that time we were told and fact checked that they were opening up portals and trying to do, or not portal, but trying to do something with CERN. And CERN has been known to open up portals and bring in things. I just prayed this evening to have holy warring angels come through there, which would be quite glorious if that would happen.
we are protected by angels, but when you read Psalms 91, the only ones protected are the ones that trust in the in his trust is like a belt buckle. It's you're under his wing, you're protected. 1,000 shall fall at at my side,
And
and shall not come nigh thee. And then after that, it says, then we shall see the reward of the wicked.
I see that actually, Steve. Um, all these people that want to say, "Hey, I'm I'm going to church and whatnot," but yet they're still going through turmoils. You know what I mean? They're still having these certain things that they're still stumbling on, and you're like, if you actually sit there and listen to the Bible and actually live your life by the Bible, okay, it's this part, and then if you tell them, oh, it's that, oh, don't you're trying to be holier than thou with me, even if they are a believer too, it's like no, it's so blatantly obvious. How are you not noticing this?
Yeah, it's basically like anytime I approach the word, it's like I have to go to it not to prove my position that I've grown accustomed to believe in, but to ensure that what I believe and I put it against the word of God. And, you know, sometimes, it's just as you move along, you become more enlightened, so to speak, with the word, because as you move along, things become more advanced and in depth. There's a name for that. But anyways, yeah, it's like when you get stuck in a doctrine, it's really like when I not to put anybody in Catholicism down. By no means do I want to do that. But when I started studying the scriptures really hard back in '84, that I started realizing that there was conflicts with the ideology and what lied within the scriptures, what was in there, literally flat out conflicts. So then, as being grown up in that, I went to theologians and I said, this is my questions. This is what I have. And I would give them my questions and they would go, okay, well, I'll meet you back here and da, 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 So I'd go there and they'd never show up, never a call, give them my work phone, or I had a phone in my dorm room that I paid for. But they would never contacted me because they were unable to answer them with scripture.
Maybe if they knew your income, like that guy I saw earlier, or I showed earlier tonight, they might have called you, Steve. We need help. But like I said, my biggest problem, because when I went to church, I actually enjoyed church back in the day when I went with my grandpa. But long story short, dad was a drug addict during those eras, so I went with grandpa instead. Lived with him mostly too. Anyways, the fun part is once every so once in a while I have to ask my grandma Judy, because she's the only one still alive still. Anyways, of how often we did it. But anyway, we would go downtown by Coors Field in Denver and go feed the homeless. Give them clothing too. We would collect it maybe twice a year, the clothing, but we'd feed them constantly, give them sandwiches. And when we run out, they'd start getting rowdy, and then we would go leave. And that part would be fun. But, you can't do that kind of stuff anymore, or you don't see churches doing that kind of stuff. Or if they do, you have the police is going against it. That right there, when stuff like that happens, us as the society and as citizens need to start saying, all right, I love the police, but the tyrannical, what's the name for the tyrannical police? Police state. The police state needs to stop and be no more. I know it's still around. You got people that are power drunk and all these others.
They'd have something to prove, or they were beat up in high school and Johnny took, Julie away from him, and his car was a piece of crap Pinto, and I'd smoke tires around them and throw rubber all over their windshield, and yeah, they hate guys like me. So now they got a vendetta.
Well, yeah, I wasn't talking about that. It's also corrupt. I know what you mean. It's also that. There's a ton.
Yeah, well, there's corruption now too.
Everywhere.
There's a lot of corruption.
I watched
Go ahead.
Remember the video I think I showed you, Steve, about that New Mexico sheriff? We talked about it with our other person that was, hosting with us before she decided to leave. Of remember it was a sheriff or arresting a police officer because I think it was a what's that called? What's the sheriff or head of police, Steve, police chief.
Yeah.
Arrested the police chief. It was a sheriff arresting the police chief because the police chief was throwing his weight around and being corrupt about a bunch of things, telling them that they knew this person, do not arrest them for the DUI or anything like that, or domestic abuse or something like that. And then the sheriff's office wound up going over and arresting them. And, that was only a year or two ago in Biden's era, which was shocking. And even in a blue state, this is just as bad as yours is, Steve. And it's close to the border, which is even worse because they were back then letting them fly right through. And now we're starting to see what kind of people and demonics they were bringing in. They weren't the Hispanics we all heard about when we were younger that want to come here, have a better life. No,
these people wanted to come here and just take advantage of it and collect our money and all the benefits, but now they're hurting. They got lied to. They're getting cut off, and a lot of them are leaving. I'm telling you, the traffic is going down. It is getting less.
In your city, yep, and in ours too. Like I said, we live in South Omaha, which is turned into Little Mexico, is what Mom calls it.
Right, and then I noticed at the gym, like I told you, I was seeing, I could tell they're illegals, and so was one of my friends. He's pointing. I go, yeah, I can tell, and they're down to about nothing now. One or two maybe, but that's it. I don't even know why they're going to the gym. They don't look like they've ever went to the gym. Well, maybe they're trying.
You never know, but you're right. There's a lot of it that just doesn't make any sense of just the way that they are. And then they just disappeared, like that, just poof. And then self-deporting as soon as they found out, like I said, my neighbor did that. And then also new neighbors moved in now. It's like, oh man. I don't know what to do. And I don't even know if this place that we rent from even knows that they're having people move in and out constantly like this, which to me, it doesn't feel right to me. Not because of what they are. It's just, you have random people moving in and out. And if
I might be using the same lease and they're just on the same lease.
That's what I told Mom, because that's what I'm feeling, Steve. And she's like,
Yeah.
well, don't worry about what they got. I was like, I haven't seen anybody from the place we rent from come over here at all. Like,
Well, they don't care because they probably have a management company run it.
that's who it is, Steve. Yeah, the management company's not coming over to who I was talking about. I was trying to stay away from names,
Yeah.
I'm trying to edit as little as possible.